What's going on, everybody? This is Jack Tanner 2000 Winter, and I am back. Something with reviews. No, I haven't done an unboxing review for I don't know how long. Because all the parody stuff that a lot of you want is just in the way. So, let's get into it. So, here we have this wireless PS2 Controller. Now, I've done a review on a PS3 Wireless Controller 8 years ago. It was somehow successful when I made the video, which is surprisingly. Let's take a look at this box, and well, I'm going to pick up my iPod. I'm using my iPod for this video. And you can tell it is a knockoff because the Sony logo is fake. I don't know, is this really what PS2 controller boxes look like before they were gone? I don't know. I gotta look up after this video. For the PlayStation 2, PS1, and PSX consoles. Now, if you didn't know about PS2 controllers, they are backwards compatible with PS1 consoles. Analog controller. See this one. Now, people will be looking around online, like on eBay or Amazon or wherever you shop online. When people would see this controller, they were thinking, oh, this is a real Sony one. Well, it isn't. As we all know, PS2 controllers are no longer being manufactured by Sony, real, and I know this was a fake when I first saw it. And because this is an interesting one, it'll just fool a ton of people, and I would just like to get on with this one. Cautions: do not use this product with other electronic product with same frequency to avoid middle inference. Well, pause the video if you want to see cautions. Here's the production features you see there. 2 AA alkaline batteries, capable of use for about 10 hours continuously. Has remote radio control, convenient operation, and double vibration, and all functions fully performed to standard operation functional of original Sony factory. Well, we all know this is a knockoff, as you can tell from the video and from this box, because it is a fake. But this is interesting, so let me just move everything here. So let's go ahead and unbox this off-brand PS2 wireless controller, and this will be in fast motion. Let's get going. Okay, so here we have the controller. Now, it was kind of a pain to get this open, and let's feel the buttons. Well, let's take a look at this thing first. Surprised they paid attention to the detail. I mean, this controller feels kind of rough. I mean, as it should, because it's a knockoff. And it uses batteries for it. You know, with PlayStation 3 controllers, PS4 controllers, and PS5 controllers, was going to be so on and so forth, they can be recharged, but this knockoff PS2 controller needs batteries, like Xbox 360 and so on and so forth, wirelessly. So let's feel the buttons on this thing. Let's start with the analog sticks, and they do feel stiff. The D-pad feels good. Select and start button, not too bad. the analog mode button. As you know, on the real DualShock 2 controller, it would have a light to know if it's that the analog mode is on. But this one doesn't. I'm pretty sure this is back here. Mode power. So I haven't done the triggers yet. Ooh. It kind of feels sticky. I actually bought a PS2 controller 6 years ago, but it was from an off-brand company. But then I lost it. So maybe I'm hoping this would be the replacement. I mean, I have a PS2 controller, but it's very much getting old. And I don't know, it feels comfortable. The texture is not that bad, honestly. And here's the port, and oh, the red light's for the power, and the green light is, I don't know what, for connection? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to this as I was opening the box. And here's the switch where I think you power this on and off, or is it really the analog control? But either way, I would like to give it a comparison to the official DualShock 2. Now, I remember getting a PS2 when I was younger. I was like 6 or 7 when me and my brother got a PS2. I mean, we loved it. We bought a ton of games with it. And, you know, I played on my father's Atari. I played on the Sega Genesis. I also played on the N64. And those were all good games. They were all good consoles. And the PS2 is one of them, and one of the most legendary consoles ever made. So let me get another thing to stand, and let's give it a comparison. So the official Sony one, well, not that high enough. Okay, let's hope this is high enough. Or yeah. Here it is. This is the official Sony one at the bottom. This is the knockoff one at the top, and then you can tell the difference. The fact that the lettering is the same, except this one has the word mode as analog mode, and this one has analog on there, and it has the little light that shows you if the controller is on analog. But yeah, this is an old controller. I believe it was like 2000 when this was first made. Yeah, you can tell this is official Sony one. But yeah, the buttons are kind of the same. I mean, this one's buttons are more sticky or stiffy or something like that. Yeah, this knockoff one is somehow well made. I've never seen anything like it. So here's where the triggers are. This is really interesting. You can tell the texture on the fake one and the real one are way different. So here's the back of it. You see, it has Sony on it and a bunch of info. This one, just blank. And what do you know? I mean, this one is a different feel, as you know. As you know, with knockoff controllers, they'll always have a different feel than the real ones. Which I knew before I got it. You know, this feels more comfortable. The fact that there's something's wrong with this one, it's older. Like, I needed a replacement, so I hope this one is a go, but I believe it will not last long because, you know, or, you know, this will be a good well because something I had to get used to. So let's take a look at the back first. It's interesting. The box said this controller takes AA batteries. Look at this. This one has AAA batteries. Well, you know, it was a knockoff because false information. So let me get batteries. Well, I'm getting both AA and AAA. Let's see how it works. Alright. I'm back with some batteries. Right here. And let me start with AA's because the box said AA's. This one supports AA's. Well, one con here, AA's don't fit. That's a shame, but you know, AAA's are cheaper and smaller. But let's put these in. They do stuck in pretty fine. You see the batteries are in there. And let's... which way does it go? This side? This side? See if I can get this in. If I can, if not, well, I'll just put it on the wrong side. Here we go. There we go. And I'm pretty sure that, like, this thing turns on. Is this the light switch? Well, you can see the lights. Oh, this, the green line means, analog mode. And the red line means the power is on. I mean, I would like to give this controller a go. I mean, I like to hook up a video game. And see what this thing does. Huh, like, pressing this is like, you know, a PS3 controller. You know, you press it on and then the lights show. Pretty convenient. I don't know why, but I want to do this, but I want to take a comparison to the real Sony PS3 controller. So I'm going to take a comparison with this fake PS2 controller with the DualShock 3 or the PS3 controller, whatever you like to call it. So you can tell the textures on the controllers. It's interesting that the PS button's right there. This would have the lights on, but unfortunately this thing is dead. But it was able to control just fine. You know, I played a few PS3 games in my time. I mean, I had some good memories with it, you know. It's just things can't last forever. You know, now I have this thing, this knockoff. I mean, this does feel fine. It's just the trigger buttons are a bit, like, sticky. But, you know, I gotta make sure I can hook up this thing and it works, so let's play a game. So I just put out the PS2 and the result can be complicated. So at first, as of now, I am not using the directional pad. The flaw is that I'll have to do something, so it's gonna be a little bit quiet. So you have to take the configure out and then put it back in, to shove it back in, and now, as you can see, it works. And now you've been thinking, what's with all this stuff, this menu here? Well, there's a thing that's called Free McBoot. If you know what Free McBoot is, it is a memory card or software where you can kind of hack a PS2, but it's complicated. I mean, you can use the PS2, the Free McBoot card, or the Free HD or hard drive boot they're called. Free McBoot is free memory card boot, as you say. But yeah, it's where you can play PS2 games, let's just say, kind of like cheating. You can play PS2 on flash drives or hard drives, so I'm going to use one of these and I'll load up a game. It takes a while to boot up. So we'll go to this menu and let's play a little bit of old Madden NFL football. I mean, like I said, with this controller, it's kind of sort of complicated. As I said many times, I mean, if you want to play this, like if this thing is stuck on the console, like after it's turned off or restarted, you gotta unplug it and then replug it back in order to make sure it works. As you can see, the game has booted up. Brett Favre was the quarterback for the Packers. And as you know, Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet. So he's following the Brett Favre path. As you know, Brett Favre in 2008, when this game came out, he was a New York Jet. So the thing is, history repeats itself. And the game is able to boot up just fine. Well, because this is a way to hack. Well, I believe with a free McBoot card, I think you can hack games or mod games, but let's play a little football. Let me pick a random team, the Atlanta Falcons. All the uniforms, so let's get into it. Let's get into the game. Now, I'm basically just like a PS2er when it comes to football video games, including Madden. Because Madden on the PS2 is the best. You know, there's all sorts of like kinds of games, like, you know, franchise mode is the best. You know, there's created team, historic teams. You can customize your own roster with the exported teams, all that. You know, it's just the old days.
The city is Pittsburgh and the stadium is...
So let's get into the game. Oh, we won the toss. Let's receive. Let's get it going.
The crowd is ready, the teams are ready, so let's get tonight's game going. Number 9 in to kick this one off.
Now, this controller is pretty decent, I would say. So let's see if this controller can do well. Oh! I'm gone! Very interesting. A kickoff return touchdown. Incredible. And he had to basically use offense. Special teams really does the trick. Let me just kick the field goal. Let's test out the analog sticks, shall we?
Reed comes in for the extra point.
And what do you know? The analog sticks are not as bad as I thought they would be. They're pretty good. Let me kick off the football again. Not as good as I thought. Oh, the vibrations. I can feel the vibrations on the controller too. Ask Madden. Yeah, the PS2 Maddens were just the best, in my opinion. That's why I'm always gonna play like the classic ones. The vibrations are pretty good. I mean, what to say with this controller? It's actually pretty good. You know, surprisingly enough, this is a good controller, despite the fact it is a knockoff. It is not an official Sony one. In fact, people will be confused by it. But all in all, it is good. It is a good controller. Back at it again with this controller. What I have to say, it's actually pretty good. Despite the fact it is a fake off-brand controller, but just holding on to it, it is a different feel as I knew it would be. But, you know, The analog sticks do well, the D-pad does well, you know. This controller does a good job. You know, the only flaw is that when you turn it on, after you turn it off, you have to unplug it and then re-plug it back in. I mean, it was a tight fit, but all in all, you know, not a bad controller. You know, in case your PS2 controller breaks down or you just don't like the feel of it anymore, try to find one of these as best you can because, you know, they sell out pretty quick. So all in all, this is a good controller. I mean, this is a good replacement if you want a wireless PS2 controller. I mean, this was on eBay. It cost me $22 to get this. You know, that's pretty much the price of knockoff controllers recently, but it is what it is. You know, the quality is very much improved, especially this one. You know, this one is a good feel. So, what to say about this? All in all, this is a good controller, despite the fact that it is a knockoff, but it's a great feeling. And I'm actually glad I have this. So, that is it for the end of this video. This is Jack Danaher, 2001 here, saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.